What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? um, Sorry I missed yesterday. I went to my niece's graduation, and it was interesting. I don't think I've ever been to I went to my daughter's graduation. It was a kinder graduation. It's been so many years. But it was interesting. I saw something interesting. There was this little girl that her mom and her brother were with her, and I mean, this little girl was crying. I'm talking like she was gonna die, kind of crying. And I'm used to seeing kids where they get a pacifier to just calm down, and the lady literally pulls out her phone and hello, you're being called. Thank you. Yeah, so the lady pulls out her phone, and the little girl just like, I mean, it's like a sedative. It just like stops crying. And I thought to myself, man, what is this world coming to? It's just little observations like that just make you question humanity sometimes. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like technology, but at what point do you say, Houston, we have a problem? Another thing I noticed is that every time they would call a kid's name, they would say what they want to be when they grow up. Very, very upsetting. Nobody wants to be coding. But everybody was, firefighters, police officers, obviously teachers. I mean, if you really think about it, those are the primary individuals that they interact with in school all the time, right? I mean, there's always at least there should be a resource officer at a school. There's nurses. Surprisingly, none of the kids said they wanted to be a nurse. But a lot of them wanted to be things like that: teachers, firefighters, police officers. Some girls are like, I just want to be a mom, which again, it's amazing. I mean, being a mom is it's a huge task. So I'm not discounting that at all. But what I found interesting was that everybody was clapping, right? And there was one kid that said, I want to be a football player. And that one, for some reason, got a roaring applause. I mean, you had kids that wanted to be doctors, that wanted to be teachers, which in my opinion is, and maybe I'm biased here, right? Because I don't really like sports. I don't really watch sports. But I just found it so interesting that out of every profession, that got the most applause. I mean, you're talking about doctors that could potentially save people's lives, and little quiet applause. And I'm talking like cheering, roaring applause for the football player. And it really makes me wonder, like, what do people get from that? Besides, I mean, at one point I did like to watch maybe like tennis. I loved watching tennis for a while, and I played, not played, but I watched basketball as well. And I remember just how stressful it can be to cheer for somebody, like your favorite tennis player, favorite basketball team. Which is probably predominantly the reason I kind of stopped watching sports altogether. It's just stressful for something that I really have no skin in the game. Am I really gonna make more money because my favorite team won their basketball championship? I don't know. But anyway, I just found that interesting, right? It's just the observations that you make every day and how skewed things are these days, and how kids are iPads, tablets, phones have become the new they become the new pacifiers, the new way to calm kids down. Because I mean, this little girl was just not having it. She was just crying and yelling, and I mean, it's like she just had a sedative of a mobile phone, and that kid just calmed right down. But anyway, I mean, like I said, it's just observations. I like to be an observant person. It could be the fact that, things that I do, like as far as work and what I love to do with coding, that just makes me that level of an observant. Did I not stop this yesterday? Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. Maybe like 20 something hours. If it even went there. Watch 50. Oh no, it's just kind of 53 minutes. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I mean, it was interesting, just like I said, to say the least. Hopefully we need to change as a society, and I think we need to, don't get me wrong, I mean, there's football players, basketball players, and everything has its place. But I mean, in society right now, doctors and teachers, moms and stuff, it's like they're like kind of pushed to the sidelines, like they're not important. And we have football players, basketball players that make millions and millions of dollars, and somehow that's like put a threshold above everything else. I mean, and even at an elementary school, where kids are saying what they want to be. I found that interesting. What do we have to fix on the task form? And I already think I went over time on this one. Let's increase this to an hour and a half. I don't know what other fixes we need. I know that we added the recurring option. Oh, I know what I needed to add. So, I mean, I'm now transitioning to our work. But I figure, let me start by talking a little bit of observations that you get to see every day, and how you foresee things, I guess. That'll be a little bit different. I know there's a lot of people talk about random stuff, and I figured I'd give it a shot. Sometimes I take this too much as like a teaching scenario, like being a professor here, and maybe that's not the way to go. Because I'm growing, right? But at a very slow pace. And I mean, maybe that's the norm. I don't know. I don't want to bore folks, basically. So I do want to kind of start my stream by looking at, forums, seeing what we can do to help people. And then just talk about things that we've seen. So yeah, let's go to groups here. Developers, do we have anything? I looked up to the group for suggestions. I think I saw this one yesterday. I mean, day before yesterday, because I wasn't here yesterday. Like I said, I had that little graduation thing going on, and I've been kind of tired. I was watching also that show called Silo on Apple TV. Pretty neat. I mean, crazy at the same time. A lot of observations there as well. So, but let me get back to looking and seeing if there's anybody that has an interesting development question, but I don't really see anything. All right, so going back to my form, what I said was that I wanted to add some stuff. So the first thing that I want to add is I want to add a column called estimated seconds. 18 estimate. Now this right here. How many times does this appear? Times. I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. PT task. There's a lookup. PT tasks. I'm just trying to see if we have duplicates. Basically, what I'm doing is I want to add a column to the recurring tasks called to the recurring templates rather. I want to add a column called estimated minutes, because I just thought about it. We do need estimated minutes, because every time that we create a, basically this is kind of like a cloning mechanism. If you have a task that's recurring weekly, monthly, daily, what have you, you're not going to want to have to enter a time or an estimated amount of time every single time that that occurs. So and this is an add estimated time column to recurring. And let's go ahead and shift this up and let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, so we're gonna add an estimated time to the recurring table. So here's the recurring table. Let's just paste it here, and then let's get a fluid generated for that. And let's place that right here. All right, so now oh wait, never mind. All right, so let's go here to fix it. So if I edit the page and we go to diagnostics, we'll have a missing column. Estimated seconds. So we just click repair and it's going to create our column for us. Instead of having us to go into the table and create it ourselves, we don't have to do that anymore. All right. So now to our API, we need to add let me just have minute seconds, and we need to add it to the app props as well. All right, so estimated seconds is there. Estimated seconds is going to be coming off of the task item. So estimated seconds, and oh, didn't want to do that. And so this is going to be there. So now what happens is when we create another task from this recurring task, we will have that column available to us. Same thing for update. I think we need to add that as well. So in the update, right here, and delete doesn't need anything. Do we have any errors? No errors. Good. All right, so we've updated that, and our column actually exists, so we're good to go. All right, so now what happens is, let's go to the list for recurring templates. Example, recurring task. We should have a column now in this table, estimated seconds. Awesome. There's our estimated seconds. However, these two do not have estimated seconds because these were created from, let's delete them. Okay, so it's deleted. And now if I go to manage, let's just call it a new task called task review. And it's just gonna be researching. It's gonna be 30 minutes. It's gonna be recurring. It's gonna happen daily for 30 minutes. Repeat every day. And we're just gonna make this the 2027. Let's just make it for a year. And then we save that. So if we go back to our table, now we have Monday through Friday, 1800 seconds. Because we calculate everything on the back end on our table using seconds. I just thought that would be a better way of handling our time there. Oh, I put it in the wrong one. It's okay, I just refresh it. There we go. Because I was on this tab. All right, so we added our estimated time to the recurring table. So we're good there. The next thing we need to do is we need to create the UI. But I also need to, I wanted to look at some of this code. I wanted to go over the code a little bit. I think we did review this code now that I remember. But let's just leave that. Let's go ahead and Added estimated seconds to recurring task. So the next thing I think that I want to do is on the Kanban board, I need a way to establish or kind of let people know, hey, you want to add or you have tasks that reoccur either this week or today, and give people the ability to give them the ability to go ahead and create those tasks. So we need to add a task here. Recurring task. I'm gonna call this research actually. And I'm curious what's out there. Oh, I kind of like the simplicity of this. I always like to look at stuff. This is actually something that's going to play off really well because I'm thinking of incorporating AI into this web part. And essentially what I want to do through the AI is be able to determine what your profession is and then kind of get AI to help you come up with the tasks that are going to be associated with what you're working. For example, right now, if I'm going to be adding a new UI, you're probably going to have a task for research, you're going to have a task for development, you're going to have a task for testing. So it kind of gives you like hints and says, oh, you might want to consider adding these tasks. You review them and you agree with that. You know what, maybe let's take X, Y, or Z tasks off, leave everything else. Go ahead and create my task for me. And the moment that you do that, it automatically, I'm hoping that I can do all this. Again, I'm going to explore that option. Basically have Copilot handle some of the task generation for you. I think would be a good little add to this application. Thought my dog was behind me. For recurring tasks, let's go look at this UI. You see here where it says create a task? I think that we need something like that. Maybe next to. So what I'm thinking I should do is move this a little bit like that, and then add a button right here that is basically got an icon in the middle, like so. Obviously it's not gonna look like that, but I want to, and then you click on this, and then clicking that, we have a dialog that pops up, and inside of that dialog we'll have the recurring tasks, like so. or weekly, daily, whatever the case may be. And then we have a button next to it. And then we can have a global button at the top, somewhere up here. This basically, this will be the create all button. And then this is a create single item. I don't know, I'm still debating this part. So these buttons would just create that item. Right, maybe have like a little divider between each one of them. I don't know. And then you have your create all of them. Maybe have some pills at the top. Something like this. That, and then on here you would have a button that says today. This pill would just say today. And then this button would say this week. And what this is gonna do is essentially be like a filtering option. Like so. And so when you click on these, it'll narrow down the tasks. And I think if you open it from here, maybe we could pass on a prop that would be like set up for today. And the way that would work is I lost my train of thought. Oh, I remember now. So when you click on this button, because you're in today's task area, then it would default to be in today's tasks. If you, however, open it if you open the Kanban board, which is this view, in the Kanban board, we'd have the same concept, right? You'd have the same concept. The only difference being in the Kanban board, this button to open this UI. I'm thinking should be maybe up here next to the interlock point button. And that would open the recurring task UI. We also need to add like a little badge. Like maybe up here. Like, you know, something that outlines this as a recurring task if it is. Like right above the trash can, have like a little icon that says, hey, you know, this is a recurring task. We would also have to have the UI find out if you have that task and it's already existing in the current Kanban board. For instance, if you have a recurring task that occurs today and you've already created it before and you go back to the UI for the recurring task, I mean, it could technically allow you to create it again, but it should at least at the very minimum let you know this task already exists. So what I'm thinking is, yeah, same one as we did in the task form. Right here. This button right here. Okay. Is there an icon? Let's look for a button. What are the buttons in here? We have a cancel button. We have the saving button. Sessions button. This is the add category button. Okay, so it's adding this. So let's go into the progress bar. So we need to create That is weird. There's a component called interlock point in today's progress bar. Today progress bar. Is there another today progress bar? Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, back. There's only one today progress bar, but oh, we're using today's progress bar as a wrapper, and then interlock point is inside the today progress bar. So technically we can create something similar to that. So let's do that. So I think we can go ahead and get rid of the word. Where is it? Here. Oh wait. Wait now. Yeah, like that. And then when you click on it, that's funny. It's doing that. Okay. Maybe that's not a best place to put it. Ooh, there is a recurring task. Okay. While that's doing that, I want to just check something. It just hit me that when we created the task earlier, the task review for PT recurring templates, and then go to tasks. Okay, it did create this. Interesting. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that Things did get created correctly. When you click on this, which I'm gonna fix in a little bit, is that in a stack? Oh, it should. Let's bring this in here. Yeah, that looks better. I think it should have the word. It should have here. That the current tasks, and when you click on it, obviously right now it's broken. It's basically emulating what the expand button does. It should open a dialog with the recurring task and give you the ability to create tasks. So what is it complaining about? It was an old error. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Almost time for me to call it a day, or streaming at least. Go back to my day job. From the today progress bar, I want to be able to log that shows a dashboard of the tasks that are recurring. UI should be able to determine if an existing task is already in the, for example, there's an existing task already there. mean, the likelihood of this use case occurring is not, I wouldn't think it would happen a lot, right? I mean, for the most part, you're gonna know whether or not you already created that recurring task and whether it was completed or not. So, I mean, this is just as a failsafe. I think I have something implemented like that here. Oh, that's because right here like this. Need a button to the right to allow for the creation of that. A for bulk. And for this, we're using a little bit more files. So we're going to be using the task list and as well as app user. We're going to need a lot of the use update task, use add task. We would just need to use that task. Because we're only adding tasks. We would need the use app user hook. Current user. Okay, let's see if we can get this done. Hopefully we don't have a lot of errors in the code. But you gotta give AI credit here. Recently it's been pretty on point. After this, I think I gotta get back to my regular scheduled duties. Like lunchtime. Ready to eat. Right? Ready for lunch? Ready for lunch? Ready for lunch? All right, let's see. Oh, did I not give it the... Yeah, it needs to be add the button to log point panel. Add button to log point panel, similar to how the open the log point panel progress bar. That if open log point panel filter recurring to the task. For a weekly template PT. Oh, this is a good question. I think I should create 3 separate tasks, but just have the day of the week. Because after all, when we're in the Kanban board, you can see here that it has Monday, Tuesday, what have you. So it's going to create them and it's going to show the dates there, which is okay. And from the dialog on the weekly daily template in the Kanban week mode, which day gets assigned. Yeah. There's a lot of great stuff on how some of these taskers are created, but mine is more of a self-management kind of tool, like where it allows you to kind of like focus a bit more on your specific projects, your specific work. So that's my overall goal here. It's not necessarily to reinvent the wheel and get rid of like DevOps or anything like that. It should work in conjunction with that. I even plan to, maybe if time permits, adding the ability to integrate with other tools, other task options. Hopefully, we'll see. We might have to review whatever gets created next time, or even have it work on it next time. I have to get back to my regular work. My hours coming up. But yeah, I mean, I do this on my time, guys. During my lunch break, I tend to just stream for a little bit. If anybody happens to be a SharePoint developer, have any questions, help out in any way that I can. I do have few YouTube examples on what you can do to help you. I plan to add more, but right now, since I'm still kind of in the process of, getting more and more experience, I've been thinking of holding back a little bit here and there to make sure that I'm not providing any misleading information. I never want to be one of those people that gives you bad information and, ultimately is lead you to failure. And I don't want to do that. So I hope you can understand that. But if you want to ever join me and ask me any questions, follow me on YouTube at the little alert bell so that it lets you know that I am streaming. And don't be a stranger. Ask me questions if you have any. More than happy to always help. So if you want to subscribe or follow me on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, leave a comment where you're watching from. If you have any questions, I can always address it on another stream. If you have a question, you can leave it on a comment on YouTube. But I think that's it. I'm gonna have to call it a day here. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time. Peace.